Water is our most precious resource, especially living in the Sonoran Desert.
So do you know where our drinking water comes from?
The sky. It comes from the pipe in my kitchen.
You may not realize it, but there are hundreds of Scottsdale employees working around the clock every day of the year, including weekends and holidays, to make sure you have clean, safe water and sewer services whenever you need it.
Have you ever thought about what happens to the water after you flush the toilet?
Yeah, I've thought about that. It goes down the drain and down the sewer and somewhere from there.
Before your drinking water even enters a treatment plant, it must travel hundreds and even thousands of miles. You see, most of our drinking water in Scottsdale starts out as snow in the mountains in northern Arizona, or even further north in the Rocky Mountains. As the snow melts, it either seeps into the ground or flows directly into a river or lake. Scottsdale's main water sources are the Colorado, Salt, and Verde rivers. The Central Arizona Project Canal brings Colorado River water to the northern part of the city, and the Salt River Project brings water from the Salt and Verde rivers to the southern part of the city. This sounds simple enough, but there's a lot of planning, engineering, and collaboration that goes on to make this happen each and every day. Water Resources Planning and Engineering staff is continually assessing our water needs and demands. Our hot, dry summers require more water than our cooler winter months to sustain our quality of life. So there's a fluctuation in the amount of water we use every month. This means performing thorough and detailed evaluations to determine how much water we'll need to purchase from CAP and SRP in advance. We also have to take into account our current customers' needs, along with new customers and development that will be part of our community in the future. We revisit these evaluations every time the Planning and Engineering Group updates our water and sewer master plans, which is approximately every 3 to 5 years. Depending on the time of year, Water Resources will treat anywhere from 40 million gallons of drinking water a day to over 100 million gallons of water a day. Our goal is to achieve environmental sustainability by using mostly surface water, which minimizes groundwater pumping. This is a very important component of assuring water for now and the future, and is referred to as safe yield. Safe yield is achieved when as much water or more is returned into the ground than you pumped out in any given year. It's not very glamorous, but our planning and engineering staff also manages our sewer collection and water reclamation systems. Over 95% of our highly treated sewage is reused to irrigate golf courses north of Indian Bend, to generate electricity, or is recharged into the ground. A portion of our sewer flow is treated and used for cooling water at the Palo Verde Nuclear Generating Station. No other nuclear power plant in the world relies solely on reclaimed water for this purpose. Planning and Engineering is also responsible for managing all of Water Resources' assets, equipment, and infrastructure, both above and below ground. This includes water and sewer lines, wells, pump stations, equipment and treatment plants, valves, you name it, and this group determines if a piece of equipment needs to be replaced or just repaired. And it's all done to ensure you get clean, safe, reliable drinking water and sewer service at an affordable price. Water conservation is also part of the Planning and Engineering Group. Their goal is to educate every type of customer, both residential and commercial businesses, on how to use water efficiently and effectively. They offer a variety of free programs, rebates, educational workshops, how-to videos, and water conservation tips on their website to help you make the most of your water use. They'll even come to your home or business and provide you valuable information on how you can save water outdoors, since up to 70% of all water used every day is for outdoor watering. For more information on Scottsdale's Water Resources Planning and Engineering Group, please visit www.scottsdaleaz.gov/water. Once water from the Colorado, Salt, and Verde rivers enters one of Scottsdale's water treatment plants, a group of dedicated professionals are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year to ensure your drinking water is treated to the highest standards. The water treatment process is a 4-step process that requires careful monitoring each step of the way. Solids removal, filtration, granular activated carbon absorption, and disinfection. Scottsdale leads the way in implementing state-of-the-art technology during the water treatment process. The first step in the water treatment process is to remove the solids. Remember, this is raw water coming from the Colorado, Salt, and Verde rivers and has traveled hundreds and thousands of miles to reach Scottsdale. There's a lot of mud, dirt, debris, and other things that were picked up along the way that needs to be removed first. Once the big heavy stuff is removed, the next step is filtration. The filtration process removes the tiny minute particles we can barely see from the water. In Scottsdale, water is filtered in one of two ways: through conventional filtration or through membrane filtration. Both methods are very effective at removing these tiny particles. Granular activated carbon, or GAC, is used to help remove taste and odors from the water. As the river water travels down from the mountains, it also picks up minerals and salts that give it a hard or salty taste. GAC is an additional filtration process that absorbs many of these minerals and improves the taste and odor of the water. Scottsdale was one of the first cities in the valley to use GAC. Remember, the water in Arizona is naturally full of salts and minerals because of the geological makeup of the state. The metro area is often referred to as the Salt River Valley for a reason, since the Salt River originates from salt springs up in the White Mountains. The final step in the water treatment process is disinfection. We use chlorine to clean and disinfect the water to meet or surpass federal, state, and local standards. Water treatment is one of the most critical components of water resources. We take great pride to provide you with clean, safe, and reliable drinking water each and every day. Our water services staff also takes great care to ensure water is there for you at any time of day or night without disruption. This means maintaining over 2,000 miles of water lines, 88,000 water meters, 30,000 valves, 11,000 fire hydrants, and hundreds of pump or booster stations throughout the city. We also perform regular maintenance on this equipment throughout the system and inspect hundreds of backflow prevention devices each year. Since water doesn't naturally flow uphill, Scottsdale has more pump or booster stations than any other city in the valley. This is one of the most unique and challenging parts of Scottsdale's water distribution system. The dramatic change in elevation from the southern part of the city to the northern boundary ranges from 1,100 feet at the southernmost end to about 3,000 feet at the highest elevation. These pumps are needed to ensure there's always water there for you, whenever you need it, no matter what part of the city you live in. Water services crews also jump into action whenever there is a water leak in the city's distribution system, even if it's in the middle of the night. We know how important it is to get the water leak fixed quickly to preserve our most valuable resource. Our crews are also out there every day checking all the water lines, hydrants, valves, and pump stations on a regular basis to make sure they are operating properly. This also allows us to see any unusual wear and tear and take whatever measures are needed to replace or repair the equipment. Tracking how much water each customer uses is also part of the water services group. The meter readers in Scottsdale have one of the most important, interesting, and challenging jobs. Accurately tracking each customer's water use helps us properly bill you for the amount of water you use each month. And they have this down to a science. Meter readers are required to accurately read 98 meters an hour. They also replace old water meters as they wear out with new automated meter reading technology as part of their daily responsibilities. Water Services works closely with each of the other departments within the Water Resources Division. Each group specializes in a specific discipline, but everyone works together so you don't ever have to think twice when you turn on your faucet. You can learn more about Scottsdale Water Services by visiting www.scottsdaleaz.gov/water.
Have you ever thought about what happens to the water after you flush the toilet?
Yeah, I've thought about that. It goes down the drain and down the sewer and somewhere from there.
I would think it goes to the ocean because that's pretty close to here, right?
We drink it again. In Santa Rosa, we drink it again.
Every drop of water each Scottsdale resident uses goes to one of two places, into the ground or down the drain. Treating wastewater is equally as important and critical to our quality of life. It's obviously not one of the most glamorous or exciting topics, but properly disposing of everything that goes down the drain and into the sewer system ensures our homes, businesses, and streets of our beautiful city remain healthy and safe. In Scottsdale, we reclaim as much of this wastewater as possible. you really don't want to consider the alternative. The wastewater treatment process is a 3-step process: collection, treatment, and disposal. Each of these steps also requires careful monitoring along the way. It's a 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year operation to ensure your health and safety. Most sewer systems around the country rely on gravity to collect wastewater. In Scottsdale, the dramatic changes in elevation can make this quite challenging. Similar to the drinking water pumping process, Scottsdale's sewer system uses lift stations and pump-back stations to transport the wastewater to our treatment facilities. Don't worry, the water and sewer systems are completely separate, which is a federal requirement. That's why we have construction codes and inspections to prevent this from happening. Once the wastewater is in our sewer system, it goes to one of 2 places, depending on what part of the city you live in. If you live north of Indian Bend, your contributions are pumped uphill to the water campus for treatment. If you live south of Indian Bend, gravity sends your contributions all the way to a regional treatment facility near 91st Avenue and the river bottom. There are over 78,000 connections to Scottsdale's sewer system, over 1,400 miles of sewer lines, and more than 30 lift stations throughout the city. On average, Scottsdale treats approximately 20 million gallons of wastewater every day. It takes a lot of people to keep all this equipment operating smoothly. Crews regularly clean about 1/3 of our sewer lines each year and inspect the lines with a special remote camera. If they encounter a blockage, the cleaning crew is called in to rotor out any clogs. If they discover a problem or a potential problem in the system, crews are out there getting it fixed or repaired as quickly as possible. The 2 biggest culprits in our sewer system are tree roots and grease. Roots from trees can grow into a sewer pipe and restrict the flow of the wastewater. Grease from cooking can stick to the sides of the sewer pipes, reducing the size of the pipe significantly. If the grease meets up with tree roots, a complete blockage is likely. To avoid costly repairs to both your home or business and the city's sewer system, remember to plant trees away from your sewer lines and never pour grease down the drain. Once the wastewater makes it into the treatment facility, there are strict federal requirements to meet throughout the wastewater treatment process. Depending on how much flow comes into the plant each day, it takes between 36 and 48 hours for the entire treatment process to be complete. And, believe it or not, we're required to treat it to meet drinking water standards. We use state-of-the-art technology during the wastewater treatment process to meet these standards. In fact, the wastewater side of Scottsdale's water campus has won numerous awards for innovation and technology for our advanced water treatment processes and facility. Another award-winning concept Scottsdale's Water Resources has been recognized for is reusing over 95% of all treated wastewater for irrigating golf courses and large turf areas like the Scottsdale Sports Complex. A small portion of reclaimed water is recharged or pumped back into the ground, too. Using reclaimed water to irrigate a majority of Scottsdale's golf courses is making the most of the city's water use and frees up more drinking water for you. To learn more about water reclamation services, visit www.scottsdaleaz.gov/water. The quality of our drinking water is something Scottsdale's Water Resources takes very seriously. We abide by the strictest standards to ensure every drop that comes out of your faucets or spigots is clean, safe, and fresh. In fact, we continually test our water throughout the city and do our best to surpass these standards so you never have to think twice about the quality of your drinking water. Scottsdale's Water Resources has one of the most sophisticated labs in the area. Our chemists and biologists can test the water quickly in-house without having to send samples to another lab for results. This quick turnaround helps keep our costs low, which saves you, the ratepayer, money. The lab stays busy all year long since they regularly analyze over 200 substances, have over 150 drinking water sample stations throughout the city, and monitor 10 different entry points in the water distribution system. Water quality staff also monitors and tests the water in 24 different groundwater wells, too. All of these test results are compiled in an annual report and mailed to each customer in June. This report, often called the Water Quality Report or Consumer Confidence Report, provides important information about your drinking water, including the results of all the testing we do and how we stack up against the federal requirements. Whenever there's a water main break, water quality staff are the first to be called to the scene. They work closely with the repair crews and water services staff to sample water both up and downstream from the break to make sure dirt and debris did not compromise the water being delivered to your home or business. One of the biggest challenges for water quality staff is treating groundwater designated as a Superfund site by the EPA. In the early 1980s, several of Scottsdale's groundwater wells were determined to be contaminated with industrial chemicals from nearby manufacturing plants. A special water treatment plant was built that strips these harmful chemicals from the water to meet or surpass all federal and state drinking water standards. The groundwater cleanup efforts have been very successful so far, although it will take another 20 to 50 years before the groundwater cleanup is complete. Another component of the Water Quality Department is the Industrial Pretreatment Group. For some types of businesses, like restaurants and automotive services, before water going down the drain even reaches the city's sewer system, it must pass through an on-site treatment system. This treatment, which is mandated by the EPA, helps reduce the amount of pollutants that can be discharged into the city's sewer system. Without the system in place, many of the solids and chemicals entering the city's sewer system could cause severe damage to it. It would also make it more difficult and expensive to clean during the wastewater treatment process. The industrial pretreatment staff protects the city's sewer system by inspecting over 2,000 commercial and industrial businesses every year. Some businesses are inspected more than once a year, depending on their potential to affect our system. We work with each business on a case-by-case basis to educate them on the environmental benefits of this process. After all, the cleaner the water is coming into the wastewater treatment facility, the cleaner it is when the process is complete, which provides cleaner water to irrigate the city's golf courses or recharged back into the ground. Water quality also monitors the city's recharge efforts. Wastewater has to go somewhere, and the water quality staff is there to monitor how much reclaimed water is available and where it goes once it's treated. If the reclaimed water is not going to one of Scottsdale's many golf courses, it's getting recharged back into the environment. Water quality also monitors the deep wells and aquifers below ground to make sure they are not compromised. As you can see, Scottsdale's water quality team is a critical component to every other department within the Water Resources Division. They work closely with water services, wastewater services, and planning and engineering staff. They even answer technical questions from customers who want to learn more about what goes into keeping our water safe, clean, and reliable whenever you need it. To learn more about what goes into Scottsdale's water quality, visit www.scottsdaleaz.gov/water. There are over 200 employees working hard 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year to provide you with reliable and affordable water and sewer services whenever you need it. There are 5 different departments within Scottsdale's Water Resources Division: Water Services, Water Reclamation Services, Water Quality, Planning and Engineering, and Technology and Administration. It takes a lot of coordination and effort for each department to fulfill their specific roles and work together as a team. If you really stop and think about it, you cannot have reliable water service without reliable sewer services. The administrative staff supports every other department in a variety of ways: budgets and financial planning, customer service and support, policy and decision-making, and interaction at city council meetings. Water Resources is revenue neutral, which means we do not make a profit on the service we provide to our customers. Our financial team tracks the costs of every aspect of the division, from what it takes to purchase the water we drink to making sure the long-term repairs and replacements have the resources available whenever it's needed. They also make sure there is enough revenue to pay the day-to-day expenses needed to operate the water and sewer treatment plants. The single biggest expense for Water Resources is energy. On average, it costs approximately $17 million a year to operate all the water and sewer facilities. Water rates charged to our customers are what generate the revenue to pay for all of these expenses. Compared to other Valley cities, Scottsdale's current water and sewer rates and fees are right in the middle of the pack. The water rates are structured so the less water you use each month, the more money you save. If you ever have a question about your water or sewer service, our friendly citizen service representatives are there ready to help.
Good morning, City of Scottsdale Water Operations.
They are versed in all aspects of the department and can answer your questions in no time. They are also the front lines to our field staff and can get a crew out to fix a water leak or take care of any other water or sewer problem that might come up. Scottsdale works closely with our neighboring cities, Central Arizona Project and Salt River Project. Since we must comply with all federal, state, and local laws during the treatment process, we also collaborate with the Arizona Department of Water Resources, which sets policies and regulations for all public and private water providers. Water Resources staff also has a great relationship with the Maricopa County Environmental Health Services Department, which ensures we abide by the drinking water standards set by the EPA. We also communicate regularly with City Council and City Management about any required changes to these policies and regulations. Any change made to the financial area of the division cannot be done without City Council approval. As you can see, there's quite a bit involved to make sure there's always water there for you every time you turn on a faucet or send water down the drain. Scottsdale's Water Resources staff are some of the most passionate and dedicated professionals in the city. They have years of training and experience that enables them to perform their jobs correctly because the consequences of jeopardizing your health and safety are not acceptable to them. They are proud to work for you and provide you with the cleanest, safest water available at an affordable price. So, the next time you turn on your faucet, wash the dishes, water your landscape, or even flush the toilet, remember, there are over 200 employees in Scottsdale's Water Resources Division working diligently around the clock to ensure your water and sewer service is there for you no matter what time of day or night.